In today's video, we're talking about what you should do if you're getting pulled over by the police. You see a lot of different videos, a lot of commentary on these types of things, but there's some basic principles that will help you be successful. Number one is being polite. You always have to be polite. Doesn't matter if you're late, doesn't matter if you're angry. You have to be polite to the police officers, because if you don't, it can really hurt your case. Prosecutors will look at it, police will comment on it, judges may see it. If body cam goes in, jurors may see it. Be polite. You may be as angry as can be. Most of us are when we're pulled over, but you have to be polite. You have to count to 10. Be cordial about the whole situation, because doing otherwise can be very problematic for you if you are in fact charged with a crime. Another thing that you need to do is you need to give them your name, your birthday. You need to give them a copy of your driver's license, registration, and insurance. We give advice to people on these things. Keep this stuff handy. Keep it not buried at the bottom of a glove box. Put it all in one little bag, or one little device, or one little separate wallet, or put it on a binder clip on your visor so you can just pull it right out. Keep it accessible. What police will often do is they'll look at people fumbling around, diving into their glove box, throwing papers all over the place, and they'll use that as evidence against you. They'll say, this person was fumbling, they were slurring, they seem to be exhibiting impaired motor coordination. They'll come up with a whole different list of reasons as to why they think that you were drunk or impaired or under the influence, just due to the fact that you're navigating through your glove box and going through papers. Stuff that is very normal, they will say indicates signs and symptoms of impairment. So keep that stuff readily available, readily accessible. Put it in a Ziploc baggie. Put it at the top of your paperwork or in your glove box so that you can just pull it right out. The other thing that we recommend to people is get a dash cam. These are very affordable, they're very accessible, very easy to install. You can typically just mount it to your dashboard or your visor and then wrap the cord around. You don't need a professional installation. This is something that can be very helpful. There are certain technologies out there now where you can just say, I'm being pulled over, and it will actually recognize your voice and start recording front and back so that the police, that whole interaction can be seen. The other thing that you can do, there's a lot of mobile apps now that will record and automatically upload it right to the cloud. So let's say, for example, you're being stopped by the police, you open your app. There's one by the ACLU, it's called Mobile Justice, they're for different states, but you hit record on that and it will upload the recording immediately to the cloud. So if your phone is taken or impounded as evidence, it's stored off-site. It's a free app, should be on everybody's phone as far as I'm concerned. That way, if you're being stopped and you're being investigated, you can hit record. I can't tell you how many times we've represented people on certain situations, and what actually happened differs from what the police put in their reports. And our client's evidence, their recording, audio recording, or video recording, proved to be exculpatory, meaning we could show that to the prosecutor, show that to the judge, and say, look, this didn't happen the way the officer said it did, and that benefits our clients. Another quick tip, pull over to the right side of the road. Pull over to the right. Some people want to pull into the median, and that's just not where you're supposed to pull over. Police can charge you with a separate offense for that, failure to pull to the right. Something that is surprisingly common. I thought that we all learned in driving school or from my parents to pull over to the right-hand side of the road. But for some reason, people still just don't think about doing that. So pull over to the right. Otherwise, you're going to really kind of anger the officer, and they're going to charge you with a separate offense. These are some quick tips for success. Number one problem that we see with people, they make admissions to what they were doing. So it's not on the board, but this is the biggest tip. Do not make admissions to what the officer is claiming that you did. The officer may say, do you know why I pulled you over? You say, yeah, because I was speeding. Okay, you just admitted to that. That evidence can be used against you. If the officer asks you, have you had anything to drink? And you say yes, 1 or 2, that evidence gives them probable cause to continue the investigation against you. The proper way to address this is to say, officer, I've been advised not to answer any of those questions. Are you issuing me a citation? I've been advised not to answer those questions. I've been advised not to answer those questions. Write it on your mirror, write it on your forehead if you need to. I've been advised not to answer those questions respectfully. I respect you, I respect what you're doing, but I've been advised not to answer those questions. Trying to talk your way out of it, trying to have a friendly conversation with the officer typically is going to do a lot more harm than good. Keep that in mind. You do not need to implicate yourself. You do not need to give them more evidence that they can use against you. Sometimes this will be recorded on dash cam or body cam, and police will use that evidence against you. Prosecutors will use it against you. So don't make it any harder. Protect yourself and exercise your right to remain silent. If you'd like to speak to us about this further, if you've been charged with a crime, or if you have additional questions about what to do if you're pulled over, if you're watching this for a young person who is just starting to drive, give our office a call. We'll have happy to speak with you or speak with them and explain how to stay safe on the roads in Arizona. Thanks for watching, and drive safely.